The race is on tonight to solve a mystery dating back to World War II and collect the riches that may come along with it. Legend has it that a Nazi train filled with gold was lost 7 decades ago. But is it just that? A legend? Here's Keir Simmons.
Few historical mysteries capture the imagination quite like the lost treasures of the Third Reich. The Nazis, known for their systematic looting during World War II, stole gold, jewels, and priceless artifacts from across Europe, much of which was never recovered. Over the decades, rumors of hidden caches of Nazi gold have fueled countless documentaries, books, and even Hollywood films. From alpine lakes to secret railway tunnels, the search for Hitler's lost fortune has fascinated treasure hunters and historians alike. But after years of speculation, new evidence has surfaced that suggests some of this long-lost treasure has finally been found. The treasure map that changed everything.
We're issuing today a preliminary study entitled U.S. and Allied Efforts to Recover and Restore Gold and Other Assets Stolen or Hidden by Germany During World War II.
For years, the idea of Nazi gold buried somewhere in Europe seemed like little more than legend, fueled by conspiracy theorists and wishful thinking. But in early 2023, a breakthrough emerged when the Dutch National Archive released a long-forgotten map said to pinpoint the location of treasure buried by German soldiers in the waning days of the war. This document, hidden away for decades, marked a spot near the Dutch village of Ammeren with a bold red X, a classic trope of treasure hunting brought to life. The story behind the map traces back to September 1944, when German paratroopers fighting the British in Arnhem came across a bank explosion in the city center. Seeing an opportunity, they hurriedly filled ammunition boxes with precious items, coins, jewelry, and possibly gold, before fleeing to a safer location. According to the records, one soldier, Helmut Sonder, later revealed that the loot had been buried just south of Ammeren. After the war, Dutch authorities tried to retrieve the treasure, interrogating Sonder and bringing him back to the site. Yet despite multiple excavation efforts, nothing was found. When the map was finally made public, it sparked a frenzy among amateur treasure hunters. Armed with metal detectors and shovels, they descended on Ammeren, hoping to uncover the long-buried Nazi fortune. However, local officials quickly stepped in, warning that the area was once a battlefield and could still contain unexploded bombs. Despite the government's efforts to dissuade treasure seekers, the legend of the Ammeren gold remains as tantalizing as ever. It's not the first time such a map has emerged. Over the years, other documents have surfaced claiming to show the locations of Nazi treasures. Some of these maps have been hoaxes, while others led to the discovery of smaller caches of valuables. What makes the Ammeren map so intriguing is that it was released by an official government archive, giving it more credibility than most treasure hunting folklore. Even so, whether it remains buried or was quietly taken long ago remains a mystery. The Nazi gold train, fact or fiction?
Tunnels in there, and you can't get to them anymore. They blew the entrances up. So, well, do you think that any of those trains are still? Well, there could be, and do you think those trains could have treasure? Well, why else would they blow them up? And suddenly you've got this sort of question and answer thing going on with people saying, well, that's right, that could have happened, this could have happened. Suddenly, all of that is not conjecture anymore, it's fact.
One of the most enduring legends surrounding hidden Nazi treasure is the infamous gold train of Poland. Supposedly, as Soviet forces closed in on the Third Reich in early 1945, a heavily armored train laden with gold, art, and other stolen treasures was dispatched from the city of Breslau. According to the tale, the train entered a secret tunnel near the town of Walbrich and was sealed inside by retreating German forces. For decades, treasure hunters and historians have debated whether the train ever existed. The most publicized effort to find it came in 2015 when two men, Piotr Koper and Andreas Richter, claimed they had used ground-penetrating radar to detect a massive buried object that matched the train's description. Their announcement sparked global media attention, with Poland's deputy culture minister at the time even stating he was, quote, 99% sure the train had been found. However, after an expensive and highly publicized excavation, nothing was unearthed. The anomaly detected by radar turned out to be a natural rock formation, not an underground train. Still, belief in the Nazi gold train persists. Some speculate that if the train existed, its cargo was secretly removed decades ago, while others insist that treasure remains hidden beneath the Sudeten Mountains, waiting to be found. Adding to the mystery is the extensive network of tunnels beneath Poland, many of which were constructed by the Nazis. These tunnels, some of which remain unexplored, were part of a secret project known as RISA, German for giant. The project was never completed, and its intended purpose remains unclear. But some believe it was meant to house weapons factories, bunkers, or even hidden vaults for stolen treasures. If the Nazi gold train ever existed, it's possible it was hidden in one of these tunnels, awaiting discovery. The lost loot of the Merkers salt mine.
2 French women told American soldiers that they had seen sacks of money being taken out of the mine. Well, at that point, the U.S. Army took notice.
While many tales of Nazi gold remain shrouded in mystery, some hidden treasures have indeed been found. One of the most significant discoveries took place in April 1945, when American forces uncovered a vast hoard of gold and valuables in the Merkers salt mine in Germany. As U.S. troops advanced, local civilians informed them of an underground vault containing Nazi plunder. When the soldiers arrived, they were stunned by what they found: over 8,000 gold bars, 3,000 bags of gold coins, and countless crates filled with currency and stolen artworks. Among the recovered treasures were items taken from European banks, including reserves looted from the Reichsbank in Berlin. The discovery at Merkers provided clear evidence of the Nazis' efforts to stash their wealth in remote locations as defeat loomed. Unlike other treasure legends, the Merkers find was well documented, with photographs showing American troops inspecting piles of gold and currency. While much of the recovered wealth was eventually returned to its rightful owners, it served as a stark reminder of the Nazis' looting operations and the fortune that remained unaccounted for. Nazi treasure at the bottom of the lakes.
I'm convinced. There were these small, heavy boxes with the handles. I don't know, but maybe there was gold in there. The gold must be really deep down.
The hunt for Nazi gold isn't confined to land. Over the years, many have speculated that stolen treasure was dumped into lakes to keep it from falling into Allied hands. One of the most famous sites is Lake Toplitz in Austria, rumored to be the resting place of Nazi gold. In the late 50s, divers searching the lake discovered not gold, but crates of counterfeit British banknotes. The Nazis had planned to use these forged bills to destabilize the British economy as part of Operation Bernhard. While this find was historically significant, it wasn't the treasure hunters were hoping for. Despite repeated searches over the decades, no gold has ever been recovered from Lake Toplitz. Similar rumors persist about other lakes, including Lake Walken in Germany and Lake Garda in Italy. Some believe that SS officers, desperate to hide their stolen riches, weighed down crates of gold and pushed them into the depths where they remain undiscovered. While no major finds have been confirmed, the idea of Nazi treasure hidden beneath the water continues to attract divers and fortune seekers. The mysterious fate of Rommel's gold.
I mean, if X marks the spot, there it is. There's where to start searching from. But then broaden the search out and suddenly you're looking for a needle in a haystack because there's just miles and miles and miles of sea kelp, grasses on the bottom. And I mean, for 6 boxes of gold down there, you could be looking for the next 62 years, you might not find them.
One of the lesser-known but equally intriguing legends surrounding Nazi treasure involves what has been dubbed Rommel's gold. According to some accounts, during the German occupation of North Africa, Field Marshal Erwin Rommel's forces seized a large quantity of gold from Jewish communities on the Tunisian island of Djerba in 1943. The treasure, said to include gold bars, jewelry, and other valuables, was supposedly transported to Corsica with the intention of shipping it to Nazi Germany. But before it could reach its final destination, the treasure seemingly vanished. Some accounts claim the ship carrying it was sunk en route to Germany. Others suggest it was hidden somewhere in Corsica or along the French coastline. Despite numerous searches, including deep-sea dives and excavations, no trace of Rommel's gold has ever been found. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think we'll ever find large caches of Nazi gold? Let us know in the comments section below.